what's your sense of consolidation and its effect on growth?
I think as is, I don't see it helping growth. I think what it could do is increase retainment. So, we've got a bunch of skiers that have been 2-3 day a year skiers. They've never seen the beauty of a season pass, but now they're being forced into this price point where it makes sense maybe to buy a season pass. And they're gonna see, oh, I can ski for an hour or two a day when I want to before work. I think that could open up a really cool kind of perception of skiing among people that have either lapsed or just were close to falling away. So I think there's an opportunity there just to get more people under this umbrella of pass holders. I think it could pull some people back, like, the fact that Vail now and Alterra can be justified in going to new markets like, I don't know, like Atlanta or whatever, and try to sell passes there where they wouldn't have otherwise done so. That's interesting, maybe some guy skied during college and now he works for P&G in Atlanta, and it's like, hey, yeah, I can do that. He's gone past the first 2 years of his career, he's got some money now, and he's like, I could do that. So I see some opportunities there. But in terms of bringing people into skiing, I don't see it as is, solely from the consolidation approach that Vail and Alterra are taking. The concern I have with that, and I know we've talked about perception before, is that when Vail and Alterra control the conversation as much as they are and will be controlling the conversation going forward around skiing, and that their pricing strategy absolutely plays into their PR strategy and everything else. I mean, Rob Katz can get on CNBC when they raise the window rates, and what does he say when he gets there? Well, yeah, it's $200 on the weekend, on a holiday weekend, but we've got this amazing thing called the Epic Pass, and it's a perfect platform for them to send a more inclusive message. But that headline is what 99% of people see, which is Vail raises window rates to $200. Right. And so the perception around the cost of skiing overall, because Vail is not a typical resort, that's a luxury ski resort. That kind of skews the perception of skiing overall, even though that pricing strategy is only being played by a few resorts, but because they control so much, it kind of skews the perception of skiing. And when you talk about a beginner wanting to learn how to ski, and if their perception is it costs $200 to go skiing one day, that's another hurdle to get over.
Right. And that's layered on top of the existing perceptions that it's a hassle, that totally, it's dangerous, all these other negative things. And it doesn't seem as though it's really, in these consolidated scenarios, at this point, their low-hanging fruit isn't new skiers. It's to take, to gobble up other skiers from other ski areas first, mm-hmm, which isn't doing anything for anybody from the standpoint of growth. Mm-hmm.
And that's a fine business strategy. When you're in it as a business, that makes a lot of sense. And I don't fault Vail and Alterra for trying to run sustainable businesses. I mean, heaven knows skiing would be better off, and that's absolutely a potential plus, but skiing would be better off if we had a really sustainable model that would work long term to keep ski areas healthy and financially viable and all those things that have sometimes challenged them, especially with the risks of climate change and weather dependency and whatnot. I think the hard part is that, let me put it this way. Vail has, I believe, some of the brightest minds, the best talent in the ski industry. Like, they have come up with arguably the most successful travel-related, ski-related product ever. I mean, they're selling, 750,000 Epic Passes? That's mind-blowing. And they came up with that concept, and they built it, and they nurtured that, and they had this big goal of 1 million that everyone thought there's no way, and they had the skills and the talent to accomplish that. Epic Mix, I think, is one of the most clever marketing concepts ever to be placed into ski, and they came up with that. They have that talent and the skills. And I know Rob Katz, you watch this series, so listen closely. I would love to see Rob Katz take that same ingenuity, that same innovation, that same talent, take a sliver of it and put it toward the growth of skiing toward the beginner experience. Can you imagine, with Vail's resources and their skills and what they've done in the past, what they could do to the way people consider the first step of skiing, whatever that step is that they come up with? They could do some incredible things. It's just they've never been given the green light or the leash to do something, because it's heads down, all in on Epic Pass, all in on pass sales. So I mean, they could prove me wrong. They could show that skiing's going to grow because of pass sales, but I think even if it does, there are other channels people could come into the sport from, and if they focus on those, man, that would be awesome. I would love to see that.